All right. All right, everyone. We are live for the OU South Carolina game. Game just kicked off. OU's got the ball first. They've got 2nd and 7 inside South Carolina territory already. Richard hands the ball up, or no, keeps the ball. They had a man in motion and thought he handed it off, but he didn't. Quick pass out to, let's see who it is. That's Gibson. We got a catch right there. He checks out the game. First and 10, 10:35 to go in the first quarter. Santega in motion, hands the ball off the middle, picks it up, and they are in the red zone for the first time since Kent State. They did not make it in the Sooners did not make it into the red zone last week against Texas at all. They kicked 2 field goals, but never made it inside the 20-yard line of the Texas Longhorns. They're at the 18 now, 2nd and 4, 6-yard run there by or hands the ball off again. It's going to be a touchdown. Touchdown Sooners. Blaylock with the run, 18-yard touchdown run. Sooners take the ball and punch it in the end zone on their first possession. The pride of Oklahoma made its way to South Carolina, and you can hear them playing Boomer Sooner in the background. Extra point is good. Sooners on top, 7-0. In other games right now, Georgia Tech is on top of Duke 7-0, and LSU, I believe, is still LSU is on top of Vanderbilt 10-7. Those are some other games I'm watching. Let me pull up my phone here. Well, we got commercial. Give you an update on all the games. Let's see here. Let's just go right here. There we go. And we're almost there. All right, like I said, LSU's up 10-7. Duke or Georgia Tech's on top of Duke, and by the way, that's in the second quarter now. LSU and Duke is in the second quarter. Georgia Tech and Duke are also in the second quarter, and Georgia Tech's on top 7-0. Michigan just finishing up the first quarter. Michigan is on top of Washington 7-0. In the second quarter, UConn's up on Boston College 14-6. But Boston College is at 2nd and goal from the 11 though. They just got a touchdown, 14-13. Okay. Arizona in the second quarter, Arizona's on top of Houston 14-7. Also in the second, Baylor and TCU are tied at 7. In the second, Army and Tulane are scoreless. Army's got it 2nd and 1 with Tulane 44. In the second, Central Michigan is on top of Bowling Green 7-3. Also in the second, Miami, Ohio is on top of Eastern Michigan 14-0. And like I said here in this game, OU takes the ball on their first possession. marches down the field, and they're up 7-0. South Carolina has yet to have the ball. Last night, if you didn't get to watch any games last night, there was some stunners last night. Louisville upset number 2 Miami at Miami 24-21. And Minnesota put a whooping on number 25 Nebraska 24-6. Utah State beat San Jose State 30-25, and California hung on to beat North Carolina 21-18. And I don't know if you guys have seen the end of that game, but with I think it was probably less than 2 minutes to go in the game. No, I think it was a little bit more than that. A little bit more than 2 minutes to go in the game. North Carolina completed a pass inside the 10-yard line. He was running towards the goal line, and right before he crossed the goal line, the defender punched the ball out. The ball rolled into the end zone, and California recovered it. And then, now it's a touchback, and they held on. They controlled the rest of the clock. They didn't give the ball back to North Carolina, and they held. Well, I think there was like 4 seconds left when they gave the ball back to them. But yeah, they controlled the clock and won the ball game. South Carolina you back in action now. South Carolina got the ball. The kickoff just happened, and they're going to start from the 25. And we'll see what Sellers can do. South Carolina has struggled offensively this year. Let's see if they can do a little better than they have at least on their first drive. There's a jet sweep. Had a defender there, but he got away from the defender and picks up 9. A big old receiver there. Number 8 or 9. The jet sweep on the first play. And the Sooners had a defender right there, but he escaped the tackle. Got to do a better job tackling Sooners. Sellers back to pass. And he completes it. Completes the pass. Looks like back number 8, Harbor. Again, defender there, but he hang up. Bowen's there, but he's strong and held on to the pass. There's not much better coverage you can get right there. So Sooners just got to, got to get pressure on it. They have not put pressure on the quarterback really since Auburn, which they sacked Jackson Arnold 10 times. They put a little pressure on Kent State. I think he was sacked 4 or 5 times, but they really just went with the base defense against Kent State. But last week against Texas, they did not bring any pressure at all, just rushed forward and only got 1 sack. They're bringing a quick pass outside. They brought 5 up the middle that time. The linebacker came in. It was more like a run blitz, which they had an RPO on, and he passed it quick outside and picks up a couple yards. It's now third and wait for him to show the marker. They're not showing the marker. 3rd and 3. They used to be a lot quicker with showing exactly the yardage to go. Now they wait till like the last minute. They'll say 3rd down, but they won't say how much. And he ran the ball off, and he does not make it. See if they punt it. They're across the Sooners territory. Let's see if they go for it here. He gets to about the 46. Let's see if this offense is still on the field. It's fourth and 1. What? Sooners got to stay still. Don't jump. They might be trying to draw them off. They snap the ball. Hands the ball off, 1st down and more. He's running through the middle. He might be gone. They get him down inside the 10. 1st and goal for the Gamecocks. Hand the ball to the fullback, and I don't know if he ran his own guy or if he ran a Sooner, but they did not do a good job. Let's see right here, get a better look at it. He really didn't run into anybody. He just kind of was getting through the feet of the people, and there was nobody there, no Sooner at all to to stop that play. I don't know where I had to go back and look at that, see where the linebackers went. And we got a timeout, and an injury timeout. Could not see even really what team he was on. Georgia Tech still up on top of Duke 7-0, but Vanderbilt has gained the lead back from LSU. They're up 13-10. They obviously got a touchdown. I'm waiting to see if it's going to be. It looks like they're reviewing. Yeah, that's a touchdown to me. Looks like they're doing a review on it real quick. Definitely looks like he crossed it. But they're going to review it.
Will T E T A A O T shot. 4. EVRY every 1 0 1 E S.
Anyway, we got this now. All right, back to the action. South Carolina got a 1st and goal. Man in motion. Hands the ball up the middle. And I'm really surprised, man. Oklahoma's got one of the best run defenses in the country. And I'm really surprised that South Carolina's been able to run on the Sooners like they have. I mean, that was probably their second longest run of the year they gave up just to get them down 1st and goal. Not sure exactly how long the run was, but it was about. So is that the 46? He got tackled at the 9, so it's a 38-yard run. Hands the ball at the middle again. He's not going to make it. There's Jaden Jackson with the tackle. It's 3rd and goal now. All right, 3rd and goal. Here they go. Pistol formation. Hands the ball off, and he stopped behind the line. 4th and goal now. South Carolina staying out there. All right, South Carolina offense on the field. Sellers back to pass, and he gets away, but he does not make it to the end zone. Good tackle by Wine, and great job by the Sooners. Stopping them on 4th down and getting the ball back inside the 10-yard line. He got away from the initial rush and ran up the middle, but could not make it to the end zone. We're at a commercial break again. And get scores update here in just a minute. All right, we are back. Sooners on top 7-0, getting their second possession. 1st and goal from the 3. I'm sorry, not 1st and goal. I'm sorry, not 1st and goal. 1st and 10 from the 3. They're on their own 3-yard line after stopping North Carolina on 4th down. Gutierrez hands the ball off to Blaylock. He's up the middle, and he picks up 12 yards. Nice run all the way out to the 15. Blaylock having a heck of a day. His last 2 carries went for 18 and 15 yards. He hit his head hard on the ground. 4:12 to go in the first quarter. Sooners on top 7-0. Gets the ball already out of danger zone on the first play. Both teams run the ball very well up the middle. Hands the ball off to Blaylock. He takes it out to the right side, picks up about 2 yards. They keep running the ball like this, and you're going to see multiple running backs today besides Blaylock. You'll probably see Ott. You'll probably see Xavier Robinson, and I think Barnes is out. I think they ruled him out. So it's possible Tatum. I heard he's might be able to play for the first time this season. Quick pass over to Blaylock. They're using him a lot. He does not get very good blocking and only picks up about 2 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and about 7. They are working the heck out of Blaylock. Will it be running or passing? Sooners were 2 for 2 on their first possession on 3rd down. Let's see what they do right here. Pass the ball, and he got the first down to complete to Gibson, his 2nd catch of the day. Good for a first down. Good for a Sooner first down. Giovanni Gibson, 6'2", 211, out of Louisiana. I believe he played for somewhere in Arkansas last year, not the University of Arkansas or even Arkansas State. It was a smaller level Arkansas school. Hand the ball up again, up the middle. And that was Xavier Robinson. I told you we might see him. Oh, we got a flag, though. We got a flag. That's going to look like it's going to be on Oklahoma. They're showing Shane Beamer pointing to move him back. Never mind. They pick up the flag. No penalty at all. So Xavier Robinson gets his first carry of the game. Picked up about 4. Yeah, 2nd and 6. Kinnick in motion. Comes to a stop. Hand the ball off to Blaylock. So Blaylock was only out for 1 play and only picks up 1 yard. He's trying to find a hole moving along the line, and by the time he finally found something he could move forward on, he got tackled from behind. So slow developing play. It's going to be 3rd and 5. They already converted 3rd and 7 on this drive. Empty backfield. Man in motion. Mateer moving over to his right. Pass it back across the middle. And it's complete. But to Gibson again. I think he's going to be just short of the first down, though. That was a very good pass, but it wasn't a very wise. Well, actually, okay. I thought he threw more across his body than he did. That was really just, forward pass. And here we go. Looks like the Sooners are going to punt it. 4th and 1, less than a minute to go in the first. I would like to see him go for it, but I get it right now. It's 7-0. No reason to, force it. Yeah. And they take a delay game penalty. Well, that's not good. Yeah, you're only on the 35-yard line. You're on 35s. Yeah. You already won the drive because you got it. Remember, you start out on the 3. So you already won the drive. No reason to try and go for it and not make it. And you give them great field position and not. So we got a great punter. Go ahead, punt that ball. But the delay game penalty was no reason for that. Gets the punt off. Oh, there's a flag. I don't think the punt counted. I think it was a false start. It was. So he just lost 10 penalties. 10 yards after deciding to punt the ball. Now, Shane Beamer is known as a special teams guru, whether it be running punts back, blocking punts, so the Sooners have got to be careful here. Nobody's coming though. Gets the punt off. It takes the bounce. Oh, it's got, and here we go. Ooh. And it's in Sooner territory. A good return by South Carolina. Not so well good coverage by the Sooners. And the Gamecocks are going to start off with less than 50 yards to go for a touchdown. They're down to about the 48 of Sooner territory. 26 seconds to go in the first quarter. See if the Sooners can get a stop here. So Sellers keeps it, and he's going to lose 2 yards back to the 50-yard line. Clock's running down under 10 seconds. See if they get one more snap off. Under 5. They get it off. Sooners bringing pressure. And, he gets away from the tackle. He's going to get some yardage, but he's not going to get the first down. And that's the end of the first quarter. Sooners on top, 7-0. It's going to look like it's going to be about 3rd and 5 when we come back. All right. Game about to come back on. All right. Starting the second quarter. It's going to be about 3rd and 5. Sooners are on top 7-0. Some other scores. UConn's beating Boston. He didn't. Looks like he did not make it. It's going to be 4th down. Oh, there's a flag. Hold on. Let me see what the flag is. This is a sideline warning. I don't know. It's against Oklahoma, but I'm not sure. It's a warning, so no penalty this time. And it looks like it's 4th and 9. Looks like Gamecocks are going to punt it this time. Getting the ball, that's a great stop by the Sooner defense. South Carolina started with the ball inside Sooner territory and only got 1 yard. The Sooners forced them to punt it. So great job by the Sooner defense that time. Let's take a look at some scores. UConn's beating Boston College 17-13 towards the end of the first half. Georgia Tech still on top of Duke 7-0. Central Michigan is on top of Bowling Green 17-8. Michigan on top of Washington 7-0. TCU on top of Baylor 14-10. Arizona and Houston are knotted up at 14. Tulane finally scored to take a 3-0 lead over Army. Miami, Ohio on top of Eastern Michigan 21-7. Vanderbilt on top of LSU 14-10. Central Florida on top of West Virginia 7-0. And right here, the Sooners are on top of South Carolina 7-0. Just Sooners' first possession of the second quarter. 14:20 to go. Second quarter just started. Blaylock with the carry picks up another 5 yards. He's having a good day so far. At halftime, I'll get you all the stats. Mateer rolls out to his right, completes it, first down, right at the first down marker. Yeah, they gave him the first down. I'm not sure who he completed it to. It was like Gibson again. Gibson, by far, having his best game of the season. Now, he's only been back for a couple of games. You know, he was hurt coming into the season. I think Kent State was his first game, and I don't even think he had a catch. They had 1 catch. I think last week against Texas he only had 1 catch. He's already got 4 catches today. So great game so far for him. I see him get away after making a catch though. See that speed he's got. Hand the ball up the middle of Blaylock. Picks up about 4. We got a second about 6. Olympic game 3. Okay. 2nd and 7. Tearing back to pass. Gets rid of it a little. He didn't get his feet set. Tried to hit Santega. They're bringing a lot of pressure after him. Sooners are having to get rid of it quick. 3rd and 7. Empty backfield. You got 5 receivers. That looked like, Susie looked like he moved a little quick. Oh, they called a timeout. Sooners called it. Boy, Susie moved like he moved a little early, but they called a timeout. The Sooners called a timeout. Save the penalty. If you're watching, tell me where you're from. Leave a name. Tell me where you're from. Tell me which platform you're following me on. I'm streaming this across multiple platforms, so let me know which platform you're on and where you're from and the name.
G. Watch it. Let me. R. E. Where? R. F. O. M. N. 10. W. N. T. N. T. F. O. R. N. Plug. R. W. N. T. H. O. N. On question mark.
That's me. So how am I gonna? Yeah, all right, we're back. Sooners 3rd and 7 from the 21, their own 21. Again, they start off inside the 5. Another timeout. Okay, on South Carolina. I was gonna say I didn't think the Sooners could call back-to-back timeouts, but that was on South Carolina. But yeah, the second possession in a row, the Sooners have started inside their own 5 and have been able to move it out of what I would call a danger zone, really inside the 10, out to 20 plus yards. But last time they didn't get it no further than the 35, and then got on 4th down, got 2 penalties and backed up, and still got a pretty decent, or got a punt, but the Gamecocks were able to actually return it inside the 50 to the 48, but was unable to move the ball. Punted it and put the Sooners deep in their own territory. But here they are again, 3rd and 7 to 21. I'd like to see them get another first down, and then or at least not get no penalties on 4th down here if they get a 4th down. Latier passes the ball, completes it. Good move by Santega. Going to get a first down inside or across the 30. Nice move by Santega. Great move by Santega. The defender slipped, which allowed him to get the catch. And then when he came back, he made a juke move on him, come back inside and got the first down. Great move. And we got a Gamecock on the field, hurt. By the way, Duke tied up Georgia Tech at 7-7 now. Late in the first half. Georgia Tech down at midfield, though, trying to get some points before the half. They got a completion. They did. Cross it to the 30. I don't know how good their kicker is, but that might be good enough for a field goal try. All right. Well, I'm not sure if they missed the field goal or what, but they go to halftime tied up. Sooners, back to the Sooners now. First and 10 from the 32. Hands the ball off to Blaylock. He's going to bounce it outside across the 35. He's going to pick up about 6 yards. Nice run by Blaylock. I'm telling you, he's having a pretty good day. Pretty good day for Blaylock. Pretty good day running for the Sooners. Empty backfield. Mateer passes it out to Santega with another first down. Crosses the 45 to the 46. $11:40 to go in the second quarter. Hands off to no, that's Robinson. He's outside, inside the 30. Robinson, remember last year had that great game against Alabama and really became their best running back down the stretch, except for the bowl game. He hasn't played a whole lot this year. He's played some, but has not played a lot. That's his best run of the season so far. Hands the ball out back up to Robinson, picks up about 5. The Sooners are gashing the Gamecocks today. Best running by far the Sooners have had this season. Another Gamecock on the field, hurt. Same guy who got hurt a while ago came back in. He's hurt again. All right, 2nd and 6 for the Sooners. Clock's running. We got 10:40 to go. Kanak in motion. Looks like Blaylock back in it. 185 yards for the Sooners. Here back to pass. Going deep. Oh, overthrows Gibson. Yeah, Gibson's had his best game of the season already. He's got overthrown. That was not Gibson's fault. That was a bad, just I won't say a bad pass. Just let him a little too far. 3rd and 6 for the Sooners. Kanak moves over, switches sides over to the right side or left side. Here comes Santega in motion, rolling out to the left. Passes to Burks, who got the first down, close to the 15-yard line. Great drive so far by the Sooners. Started off inside the 10, and they moved it already down to the 15-yard line of the Gamecocks. Great pass by Mateer. Quick pass out to Santega, and he's going to pick up about 4, maybe 5. I'm not sure exactly where they spotted the ball. 2nd down for the Sooners. Yeah, 2nd and 5. I guess they spotted it probably at the 11. We're under 10 minutes now to go in the first half. Sooners threatening to add more points to the scoreboard. Robinson bobbled the ball, gets it back, gets the first down. He's going to get a touchdown. Touchdown Sooners. Robinson bobbled the handoff, but still found his way into the end zone. Missed one tackle. Yeah, there was a defender right there. If he just goes for the ball, he probably causes a fumble. But instead, he stood and waited, and when Robinson gathered it, he just made a move on him, and it was end zone time after that. Sooners up 14-0 over the Gamecocks. Extra point is good. Been all Sooners so far in this game. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Sooners on top, 14-0. Brent Venom was very familiar with South Carolina as he was at Clemson for several years. So he played them every year. That's an in-state rival. Played the last regular season game of the year. So he played them a lot. Sellers running for his life. And I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like he lost some yards. Second down. Second and 15. Loss of 5 for Sellers and the Gamecocks. Back to pass. Sooners bringing pressure, and they got him this time. Great play by the Sooners. Defensive sack, Grayson Halton. It's third down now. It's now 3rd and 26. And South Carolina had controlled the possession or the field possession the last 2 series. And now it's looking like the Sooners got a chance to take control over the series. Dumps it off short. Got a couple defenders there, and they're going to make the tackle. 4th down. Great defensive series by the Sooners. And the Gamecock fans are booing. They are not happy. 4th and 20. And the Sooners will have a chance to blow this game wide open right here. This is a revenge game for the Sooners, as last year they got their butt whooped on their home turf by these Gamecocks. A game that we felt like coming in, the Sooners would have a chance to win. And if you remember, Hawkins was the starting quarterback, and the first 3 possessions, he turned the ball over, including 2 defensive touchdowns on the first 3 possessions. So this is a revenge game for the Sooners. They feel like they're a lot better. Mateer's the quarterback now. And, Sooners just getting a 15-yard unnecessary roughness penalty after the play. But, yeah, the Sooners really thought or I feel like a really better team right now. And they got their butts whipped last week by Texas, which a lot of people thought, well, because Sooners were 5-0, ranked number 6 in the country going in that game. After that, the way they played after that game, a lot of people just said, oh, well, Sooners are about as good as they were last year. Dropped them all the way to 14, which I'm not mad about that. They're still right there in the playoff hunt. But if you look at the schedule, like if the Sooners was to lose this game, they may not win another one. They play next week. They play Ole Miss at home. Then they play at Tennessee, at Alabama. Well, they get a week off. Then they'll play at Alabama. Then they'll come back home to finish the season up against Missouri and then LSU. And the last 2 games right now are looking like the easiest remaining ones on the schedule, but ain't none of them a given. So, in fact, all of them could be. If you lose, this is the easiest game you got remaining on your schedule. If you lose this game, you may not win another one. So, yeah, this is definitely, as soon as we go out and blow this team out, I think that they would have a really, really good shot at even winning them all. At the very least, no more than 2 losses. Let's take a look at some scores now. All right, let's take a look at some scores. Here we go. All right. Boston College has come back, and they now lead at halftime 20-17 over UConn. Georgia Tech and Duke are tied at 7 at halftime. Central Michigan and Bowling Green. Central Michigan's up 17-6 at halftime. Washington and Michigan are tied at 7 at halftime. Houston is up on Arizona 21-14 at the half. TCU is up 21-10 over Baylor at the half. Army and Tulane are tied at 3 at the half. Miami, Ohio is up 21-14 over Eastern Michigan at the half. Vanderbilt is on top of LSU 17-13 at the half. And Central Florida is up on West Virginia 14-7 early in the second quarter. And then right here, Oklahoma is on top of South Carolina 14-0 with about 7 minutes to go in the half. Not sure what that noise was. Let's see if we got any comments. Nope. All right. All right. So first, on out second down, Blaylock with the carry. I'm not sure how many yards he got, if any. Oh, he got 4. 2nd and 6. Hand off to Blaylock again. He's going to get about a yard. 3rd and 5. I can't wait to see these stats, the rushing stats primarily. The Sooners have just ran the ball down the Gamecocks' throat. We have not seen the Sooners have a good rushing attack the whole season, outside of against Michigan, where primarily the main runner was Mateer. Today it's the running backs. The Mateer, I think, only has 1 carry. This is something the Sooner fans have been wanting all season, is a good running game by the running backs. Oh, that pass was almost picked off. It's going to be 4th down. The Sooners are going to have to punt no, it's not the first time. Yeah, at least the second time. Defender jumped that route and almost picked it off. That would have been a huge change of momentum for the Gamecocks if he was able to pick that pass off. Dang, looks like he shanked it. See where they spotted at. I'm trying to find a referee. Oh, wow. He's still coming. They're going to start again in Sooner territory. The 47. That's horrible. That's horrible. You gotta punt the ball, man. All right. For the second time, the Gamecocks are going to start the ball off inside the Sooner territory. Last time, they only got 1 yard and was forced to punt it. It looks like they're going to get a late hit also on the Sooners on this one. Yeah. Well, they're not going to be punting this time because they're already in field goal range after that penalty. Well, Heineke, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. He hit him before he went out of bounds. It just the follow through tackle. I don't know about that. I don't know. All right. Sellers keeps it. Gets inside the 20. Second down. Coming up on the 5-minute mark to go in the first half. Quick pass out, and he gets away from the tackle. He's not going to get the first down. Great tackle. Great tackle there by number 1. I'm not even sure who number 1 is. That's not a penalty. You grabbed him by the back of the jersey. Not inside the, not inside, no. Third and 2 now for the Gamecocks. And the ball off. He's hit, and he is not going to make the first down. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Fourth down for the Gamecock. Let's see if they go for it. Last time they was in the position, they went for it and did not make it. So see if they at least trying to get points here. Coming up on 4 minutes to go in the first half. Grayson Halton comes out, but Jaden Jackson comes in. And the Gamecocks are still on the field. 4th and 2, under 4 to go in the first half. And they snap the ball. Oh, Sellers keeps it. He's going to get the first. No, he's short. He's short. He's going to go out short. He went out of bounds short of the first down. Well, it's going to be close. They're going to review it. Yeah, so he ran at the sideline. He's out of bounds right there, but the ball's in the right hand, which is farther back from where the mark is, or from where his foot is. And that looks to me like he is short of the first down. Here comes the ruling right now. Oh, they gave him the first down. I don't know about that. I wouldn't overturn it. Well, hey, maybe I'm a little biased, okay? But yeah, it looked to me like the official made the correct call on the field. 1st and 10 though for the Gamecocks at the 15. 3:39 to go, first half. This is not the closest they've gotten though. They have had it inside the 5-yard lines, and just didn't make it. Didn't score. Went for it on 4th down. Got tackled at 3. Sellers keeps it, but he's under pressure. He's managed to change field, come back the other way, and he's going to lose yard. Another sack by the Sooners. Great pursuit by the Sooners. Kobe McKenzie and Kip Lewis were all over him, along with a host of other Sooners on the other side of the field. This is something I wish they would have done last week against Texas. Bring pressure. We didn't do it at all last week. And I think that's why we lost. All right. 3 sacks already in this game, first half. Sellers keeps the ball, and he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, the 15. So he picks up about 3 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 10. .230 to go, 2:32. The clock is stopped. I'm not sure why the clock is. Oh, okay, now it's running. It just froze. It looked like. Yeah, it's down to 2:20 already. Incomplete pass. A flag, though. Oh, they call pass interference on the Sooners. Let's look at that again because I did not see any pass interference on that. I don't know about that. I really don't know. You might would have called a hold earlier on the break, but then that was it. 6 penalties for the Sooners for 62 yards. South Carolina, 0 penalties. First and goal now from the 4. And they're going to call another pass interference. So we're at the 2 now. Man, boy, hand the ball off, and he's going to be stacked up at the 1. This is the Sooner defensive line I've been waiting to see the whole game. It started off in the first quarter, did not play too well. But they've toughened up here lately. We got the 2-minute timeout. Sooners still at 14-0. South Carolina trying to put some points on the board. We'll be back here in just a minute. All right, we're back. And it's 3rd and goal now. As they tried to run it up the middle again and got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1. And OU uses their second timeout with 1:52 to go, second quarter. A stop here, and I'm sure the Sooners will call another timeout. But even if they don't stop it, they'll get the ball back plenty of time to try and drive down and get another touchdown or at least a field goal. They got a really good field goal kicker. He's only missed once all year. Matter of fact, it was the very first kick of the season. He missed it, and been perfect ever since. They're so close to the end zone. I thought they might do a quarterback sneak, but they got Sellers in the shotgun. Hand the ball, and he's going to be stopped way short. He's going to lose 3 yards. It's 4th down. The Sooners do call a timeout. Sooners getting penetration. And now, what's the Gamecocks do? You try and at least get points on the board so you're not shut out. Last time they was down here in this same position, they went for it on 4th and got nothing. Looks like they're going for it. I'm looking for Sellers to do a keeper here. Sellers under pressure, throws the ball, and it is complete. Touchdown, Gamecocks. Busted defensive coverage right there by the Sooners. Somebody left him wide open. I think that was Spears Jennings. South Carolina finally on the board. And the extra point is good. So it's 14-7 Sooners. South Carolina will get the ball first to start the second half. A minute 43 to go in the half. The Sooners have plenty of time. They have no timeouts. They have plenty of time to drive the length of the field and get some points. and they're not going to return the kickoff. If you catch it inside the 10, so get the ball with the full minute 43 and no timeouts to go drive and get in field goal range at least. Plenty of time. Sooners start off at 25. I see there'll probably be a lot more passing than running this possession, whereas they've mostly been running. Mateer passes it out to Blaylock, cuts back inside, and he's going to pick up about 5 yards. Got to hurry up, though. Got to hurry. Mateer back to pass. Steps up, rolls to his left, passes it back across Robinson. I could not get the number. Cleveland Robinson is going to stop the clock momentarily to get the first down. So he's going to stop it to move the chains. Now the clock back running. Mateer back to pass. Rolls out to his right. Throws it. And a little behind, incomplete pass. So there is a flag down. Again, South Carolina has no penalties on them this first half. And Center just got another penalty. A holding, so backs them up 10 yards. 1st and 20 now. 1:05 to go in the first half. So now they got it into 27. 28. Mateer back to pass. Moves over to his left. Back to his middle. And incomplete. Another flag. An illegal formation now for the Sooners. But South Carolina declined. It was illegal formation is one of the linemen was not on the line of scrimmage, they said. They said number 56. I think that's Fasusi. So it's your left tackle. 2nd and 20 still. 57 seconds to go. Sooners need a completion right here. They get it quick out to Santega. He's going to get about 5 yards. Probably a timeout here by South Carolina. No. Clock is still running. No, it stopped. 3rd down. Probably about 15. He'll probably put a couple ticks back on it too. 3rd and 14, so picked up 6. The Sooners need to get a first down right here. You don't want to take a chance of having South Carolina just get some extra points here. Vanderbilt scores again. Now they're up 24-13 with 9 minutes to go in the third. 24-13 over LSU. And now Duke is up on Georgia Tech 10-7 with 6 minutes to go in the third. Third and 14 for the Sooners. Mateer drops back to pass. Rolls out to his right. And it's going to be incomplete. 4th and 14. 40 seconds to go. Yeah, the only bad thing about that incompletion is, yeah, South Carolina still will have a bad pass by Santega. I mean, bad pass by Matier to Santega. Um, yeah, so South Carolina still has a timeout left in their pocket. 40 seconds to go. They'll get it back to about 30, 33, 34 seconds to go. Got to get a better punt than they did last time. Last one was not very good. He gets a lot better when catches it at the 15, to 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and he's finally tackled, but he's up by midfield. David Stone with the tackle, but a great return by South Carolina. Man, 27 seconds to go, first half. Plenty of time, especially with one timeout, for the Gamecocks to at least get in field goal range, especially with that great return. Sellers back to pass, getting a little pressure, pass, police across the middle. He does not get the first down, so the clock is still running unless they call a timeout. He's going to have to use his final timeout. So they don't have one to try and, they will not have a timeout now to try and move them. If it gets down close, they want to adjust the ball to where the kicker, which side of the kicker likes it. Or if you got like 10 seconds to go, you want to try and complete anywhere to where you get the first down or to get closer for field goal range. They won't have that option now. So now you can just leave the middles open. I mean, not wide open where they get a touchdown, but, allow them to catch it in the middle, especially with 21 seconds to go. Take the sidelines away. Second and 3, and the ball is on the 45. So probably need to get around the 30-yard line. Another 15 yards for field goal range. Sellers back to pass across the middle. He completes it, but the 36, they're going to stop. The clock will stop on the chain move, but then it'll start back up. They don't have no timeouts. All right. They spike the ball. 2 seconds ran off the clock, so 15 seconds to go. Now a tackle within 10 yards, the clock will run out. So second and 10. Goes back to pass across the middle, completes it, and he's not going to get the first down. The clock's going to run out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Clock runs out. Wow, controversy there at the end of the half as South Carolina caught the ball short inbounds across the middle, was tackled short of the first down, but the Sooners kind of got in his way, letting him get up. So because there was like 8 seconds to go, and I didn't really see exactly what happened as far as was there players laying on them or getting in the way of the official spotting the ball. Really could not tell exactly on any of that. But anyway, the clock ran out and South Carolina got no points. So Sooners go up 14-7 at the half. We'll be back in just a little bit to give you some stats from the first half. All right, real quick, we'll give you some scores, updated scores. So Vanderbilt still on top of LSU, now 24-21 with 4:50 to go in the third. Duke is on top of Georgia Tech 10-7 with 2:51 to go in the third. But Georgia Tech is driving, has it 3rd and 8 from the Duke 23. Washington and Michigan are tied at 7 with 3:37 to go in the third. UConn still on top of Boston College 24-20 with 3:05 to go in the third. Houston is on top of Arizona 28-14 with 1:22 to go in the third, but Arizona is driving, has it 3rd and 5 from the Houston 12. TCU is on top of Baylor, 28-18, with 5:27 to go in the third. Tulane and Army are tied at 10 with 1:35 to go in the third. Central Michigan is on top of Bowling Green, 27-6, with 1:33 to go in the third. Miami, Ohio is up on Eastern Michigan, 28-14, with 3:56 to go on the third. UCF is up on West Virginia, 14-7, with 56 seconds left to go in the second. And Kent State is up on Toledo, 10-0, with 5:21 to go in the first. At halftime, the Sooners are on top of the Gamecocks, 14-7. Let's take a look at the stats. In the first half for Oklahoma, John Mateer was 13-19 for 97 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Now here's the surprising part of the day. Torrey Blaylock, 13 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown, averaging 6.3 yards per carry. Xavier Robinson, 5 carries, 49 yards, also a touchdown, averaging 9.8 yards per carry. And John Mateer has 1 carry for 5 yards. A total, the Sooners carried the ball 19 times for 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7.2 average, 25 being the longest carry of the day. Receiving, Isaiah Santega has caught 4 passes for 30 yards. Giovanni Gibson, 5 catches for 24 yards. Deion Burks, 2 catches for 19 yards. Jaron Kanik, 1 for 16. And Xavier Robinson, 1 for 8. No turnovers for the Sooners in the first half. They didn't fumble the ball and no interceptions. Leading tackler on the day so far is Robert Spears Jennings, who has 7, 6 of them being solo. Kendall Daniels has 3. All 3 of his were solo, and he has 1 for a loss. Taylor Ween, 3. All 3 of his were solo, and 2 of them for loss. Jaden Jackson, 3. 2 solo. Peyton Bowen has 2 tackles, both solo, 1 for loss. Eli Bowen, 2 tackles, both solo. Grayson Halton has 2 tackles, 1 solo, 1 sack, 1.5 for loss. Kobe McKenzie has 2 tackles, 1 solo, 1 sack, 1.5 for loss. Demonic Williams, 2 tackles, 1 solo, 1 sack, 1.5 for loss. No, I'm sorry, 1 sack, and 1 for loss. Sammy Omasago, 2 tackles, 1 solo. Jaden Hardy, 1 tackle, it was for loss. David Stone, it was solo. David Stone, 1 tackle, it was solo. R. Mason Thomas, 1 tackle, it was solo. Owen Heineke, 1 tackle, it was solo. Elijah Thomas, 1 tackle, it was solo. And Devin Jordan, 1 tackle, and it was solo. Again, no interceptions, no kick return, no punt returns, and no field goal kick attempts. Punting, though, Grayson Miller, 3 punts for 110 yards, only 36.7 average, 50 being his longest. So they got to do better on that. South Carolina, let's look at their stats. Lenora Sellers, 10 out of 11 for 70 yards and a touchdown. Rushing, Rasul Faison, 6 carries for 44 yards, a 7.3 average. 36, though, came on 1 carry. 36 of 44 came on 1 carry. Look at the rest of these, though. Lenora Sellers, 9 carries, 0 yards, negative 0.5 average. Matt Fuller, 4 carries, negative 2 yards, negative 0.5 average. Oscar Attaway, 1 carry for negative 3 yards, negative 3 yard average. So total, they carried the ball 20 times for 39 yards and 2 yard average. And 36 of them came again on 1 carry. So for the most part, great rushing defense for the Sooners. Receiving, Brady Hunt caught 3 passes for 26 yards. Nick Harbor, 3 catches for 23 yards and a touchdown. Jaden Sellers, the quarterback's brother, 2 catches for 12 yards. Rasul Faison, one catch for 7 yards, and Vendravius Jacobs, 1 for 2. No fumbles for them, so no turnovers by either team in the first half. Now let's look at the tackles. Judge Collier, 7 tackles, 6 of them solo. Peyton Williams, 5 tackles, 4 of them solo. DQ Smith, 5 tackles, 3 solo. Gerald Kilgore, 3 tackles, 3 solo. Justin Okanokwa, 3 tackles, 2 solo. Jalen Kilgore, 3 tackles, 1 solo. Fred Johnson, 2 tackles, both solo. Sean Murphy, 2 tackles, 1 solo. Desmond Umuzela, 2 tackles, but neither one of them were solo. Nick Barrett, 1 tackle and a solo. Brian Thomas Jr., 1 tackle and a solo. Brandon Cease, 1 tackle and it was solo. No interceptions, no kick returns. They had 2 punt returns for 50 yards. That's 25-yard average, and 31 was the longest. So the Sooners got to do a better job of covering the punts. And no, they have not attempted a field goal. They attempted a 1-for-1 extra point. They're punting. Mason Love, 2 punts for 84 yards, 42-yard average, and one of them inside the 20. They're doing pretty good on the punt. So both teams have been able to move the ball. The difference in the game so far, really, why the Sooners are up 14-7. Both teams have been able to move the ball. But Sooners defense has been a little bit better, especially down in the red zone. South Carolina was stopped once on 4th down inside, got tackled at 3. And then they barely got their other 4th down conversion right there inside the 10. So the red zone defense for the Sooners has been really good. And the South Carolina red zone defense has not been very good. But the touchdown runs, though, for the Sooners, like the first one was 18 yards. So, it was just barely inside the red zone. And then the second one was probably inside the 10 by Xavier Robinson. So, yeah, to me, the Sooners are outplaying the Gamecocks right now. They've controlled most of the game, but they've given up too many yards on defense. It doesn't really look like it in the stats, but you watch the game and you can tell the Sooners at times have given up plays in key times that's kept the drives going for the Gamecocks and allowed them to hang around. LSU got another touchdown or a field goal, something. It's a 10-point game now, and Georgia Tech has tied it up with Duke out at the end of the 3rd. UConn got another touchdown, and Arizona has got another touchdown starting the 4th. So I'm not. Let's see. Yep, that's it for scores right now. Anyways, we'll be back on here in just a little bit when the game gets back on. Okay, enjoy the music. All right, we are back. The start of the second half. The Sooners are on top, 14-7. To start the second half. South Carolina should be getting the ball to start the second half. They're right there. Georgia Tech is driving down the field on Duke right now. The game is tied at 10. They're still on their side of the. I say drive down the field. They're not even in Duke territory yet. But he got a guy wide open. And he overthrew him. That was a touchdown. Wow. He was 10 yards ahead of man. You got it, boy. He's kicking himself in the foot on that one or in the ass. He's kicking himself in the ass on that one. That was a touchdown. Neither quarterback has thrown the ball very well. Well, their completion rate is pretty good, but neither one of them thrown for over 100 yards yet. So South Carolina is going to start the ball to start with possession of the 25. The ball kickoff goes into the end zone. South Carolina scored right there at the end of the first half. Cut it to 14-7. Let's see what they can do on their first possession of the second half. They got to feel pretty confident going into, with that drive and score. A 3-and-out by the Sooners would be huge right here. Sellers hands the ball off to the running back, and he gets maybe 2 yards. So, throws out to the right. Poor tackling by the Sooners, and he's able to pick up 8 yards, or not 8 yards. It's still short of the first down. Yeah, he picked up about 6 though. Poor tackling. As one-on-one coverage, and he just, made a step and went by the defender. 3rd and 2. Hand the ball up the middle, and he's not going to make it. Great defense. They have not been able to run the ball outside of that one run. And really, the first 2 series, they did run the ball pretty well up the middle on the Sooners. And they had one long run where they got it down inside the 10 and got no points out of that drive. But it's 4th and 1. If South Carolina goes for it here, no, they're punting. Okay, I'm about to say if they go for it here, that could be the ball game if they don't get it. But they end up punting it. And the fans have been booing the heck out of Coach Beamer and the boys today. They are not happy in South Carolina. So the Sooners forced a 3-and-out. That's exactly what they need to do. Start the second possession. See if Mateer and the boys can go down and get a touchdown to start the second half. That'd be huge. Last 3 possessions for the Sooners were touchdown, punt, punt. And that one touchdown was a 13-play, 92-yard drive. Well, they'll have to do, if they get another touchdown, it'd be an 85-yard drive. They're starting at the 15. Santega in motion. They fake the handoff. Mateer keeps it and only gets about 2 yards. He only had 1 carry in the first half. And here he is, the first play of the second half, and he gets a carry. Completes it to Santega. He's going to get a few yards. It's going to be about 4 yards short, it looks like. Maybe 3 yards. Third down, though. 3rd and 4. Third down is where they've been very successful. But you're going to keep it. You're going to get a first down. Picks up about 8 yards. Nice run. Only needed 4. So here we are again. Remember, in the first, I said a while ago, he only had 1 carry in the first half. In 3 plays, already had 2. So it looks like they might be trying to run him a little bit more besides the running backs. Running backs did really good. Did really good in the first half. I expect Blaylock, if he keeps that pace, will have his second 100-yard game of the season. We have not seen Jaden Ott yet today. We've just seen 2 running backs, and that is Blaylock and Robinson, and both of them have done very well. Material empty backfield, back to pass, completes it to Santega, who's going to pick up the first down and more across midfield to the 49. Great move and run. There's Mateer running the ball again, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards. His helmet's going to come off, so he's got to come out for a play. There was not a flag on, so he's got to come out for a play. So here comes Hawkins. Actually, it's not even Hawkins coming in. I wonder if they're trying to redshirt Hawkins. Neubauer hands the ball off to Blaylock, and he's going to pick up a couple. So Mateer come back in now. Third and 5 now. Kanik in motion. Mateer empty backfield. He comes up to the line, barking signals, giving signals to the receivers. Still empty backfield. Back to pass. Oh, it was a good throw to Santega, and he bobbled it, and it goes out incomplete pass. 4th and 5, though. I think the Sooners might. No, they're not going to go for it. That's all on Santega. That's a good pass. Right on the money. 4th and 5. I think the Sooners are going to punt. I don't think they're quite close enough for field goal. Yeah, they're punting. Which the way they've been. Oh, great punt. Great punt. It's going to be dead inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. Great punt. Great punt by the Sooners. And we got a timeout on the field. Let me get you some score updates as we got some people in the 4th quarter now. And here we go. All right, UConn with 8:58 to go in the game leads Boston College 31-23. With 11:04 to go in the game, Georgia Tech and Duke are tied at 10. With 10:38 to go in the game, Central Michigan is up on Bowling Green 27-6. With 12:34 to go in the game, Michigan leads Washington 14-7. With 7:48 to go in the game, Houston leads Arizona 28-21. With 13:46 to go in the game, TCU leads Baylor 35-21. And with 6:41 to go in the game, Army and Tulane are tied at 10. With 12:35 to go in the game, Miami, Ohio leads Eastern Michigan 37-14. With 11:34 to go in the game, Vanderbilt leads LSU 31-21. At halftime, Central Florida leads West Virginia 14-7. With 12:32 to go in the first half, Toledo has bounced back and tied it up with Kent State at 10 apiece. And in the first quarter now, Buffalo and UMass are tied at 0. And of course, our game with 9:42 to go in the first half, or third quarter, 9:42 to go in the third quarter. Both teams have had the ball once, and the score has not changed as the Sooners lead the Gamecocks 14-7. It looks like LSU got a field goal to cut the Vanderbilt lead to a touchdown, 31-24. And we'll be right back on in just a minute. Georgia Tech just kicked a field goal, and they lead now 13-10 with 10:59 to go in the game. All right, we're back. Gamecocks 1st and 10 from the 3, hands the ball up the middle, and he's going to pick up a yard, maybe 2. So he got to the 6. So I thought it was the 3. They may have marked it the 4. See if they really spotted that. Second down. Yeah, the ball's at the 6. Yeah, they did. Nice start at 3. So this should be 2nd and 7. Yeah, it is 2nd and 7. Okay. All right. Man in motion from left to right. Or right to left, I'm sorry. Hands the ball off, and he's going to get maybe a yard. 3rd and 6 for South Carolina. So far, South Carolina has not converted a 3rd down. They're 0 for 7 right now. 3rd and 6 for the Gamecocks. They need to get to the 13-yard line. Little pressure coming. And he's incomplete pass. They're now 0 for 8. No flags on the play. Going to punt. South Carolina punt from their own end zone. The Sooners should get great field position here. And he's going to catch it around the 44. Oh. And he only gets about a 2-yard return. But still great field position for the Sooners. .807 to go in the 3rd. The Sooners should get a field goal out of this. We haven't attempted a field goal attempt today. But yeah, we should get at least a field goal out of this. And we'll be right back. Let's take a look and see if any more changes of scores have happened. Michigan has scored another touchdown. They're up 21-7. Army now leads Tulane 17-10 with 5:54 to go in the game. And Buffalo now on the board against UMass. They're up 3-0, but that's still in the first quarter. Other than that, no change. Georgia Tech, like I said, leads Duke 13-10. And yeah, no other changes. All right, we're back. And then next time out, we'll talk about some upcoming games for the rest of the day. Got some good ones to talk about, especially in the SEC. Georgia Tech now has the ball with the lead. And now we're back to Sooners Gamecocks. Sooners going to start at 1st and 10 from the 47, from their own 47-yard line. Xavier Robinson in the backfield. Santega in motion, fakes the handoff to him. Going to pass the ball to Gibson, and he's complete. We'll see where they spot. Oh, the flag. There's a flag coming in. There's going to be pass interference on the defense. Pass interference on the defense. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure because where it happened. I wasn't sure if they might have called Giovanni Gibson with a push off, but they ended up calling on South Carolina. That's South Carolina's first penalty of the game, by the way. And the Sooners, let me look. I think they had close to 10 in the first half. Let me see if I can find. See if we had penalties on here. Team stats. Here we go. Penalties. 8. The Sooners had 8 for 73 yards in the first half. Here we go, though. 1st and 10 for the Sooners now in Gamecock territory. And Xavier Robinson has been playing pretty decent today. Picks up 2 yards. They're only about 10 yards from field goal range. So if they get close to the first down, it'll be one of those where do we go for it or do we kick it? And I'm not sure what the wind is like out there today. That will definitely make a decision. Well, late substitution. Burks runs on field late. And now South Carolina now going to late sub, and that's going to cause probably Sooners force a timeout. That's on the Sooners. That's on the Sooners. You set yourself up for failure doing that. If you got a sub that late, you wait till the next play. They did the same thing against Texas late in the first half, which cost them a lot of time on the clock. And John Matera did end up throwing an interception, but it could have been, play calls could have been different and could have determined the whole outcome different. So late substitutions like that you cannot do. And it looks like it was Jay Knott who did the same thing last week. So, and I'm not blaming it on him. It's either him or the coaches, but it's the same person, it kind of makes it look like the player. Or maybe it wasn't Jay Knott. They're just showing him because he hasn't played today. Here we go. 2nd and 8. Ott is not on the field. Blaylock's out. No, that's Robinson out there. He's in motion. Mateer back to pass. And it's complete. That's the tight end, number 18. The Sooners have not thrown the ball down the field at all today. It's all short passes. 3rd and 4. You got to pick up a couple yards here at least for a field goal attempt. Cannot take a sack. Mateer under pressure. Gets it off, though. Almost intercepted. Almost intercepted. 4th and 4. This is now you're in that range. Do you go for it? Kick a field goal or do you punt? That pass was almost intercepted by a defender that came back for the pass. He had to dive and get it. So it'd have been an outstanding play. We got a field goal attempt here. First one of the day by either team. And he got it. It is good. And we got a timeout now. Let's check the scores. Let's check the scores here. All right. Vanderbilt still up by a touchdown with 6:55 to go. Georgia Tech still up 13-10, 7:59 to go, but they are driving inside Duke territory. Michigan up 21-7 with 9:12 to go. UConn stretches the lead out and now is up 38-23 with 4:38 to go. Arizona has come back and tied it up with Houston. They're knotted up at 28 with 4:52 to go in the game. TCU and Baylor. TCU leads 35-21, but they are in a delay, probably a rain delay. Army now leads Tulane 17-10 with 5:54 to go. Tulane, though, has it 4th and 8 from the Army 12. Central Michigan on top of Bowling Green 27-6. Miami, Ohio on top of Eastern Michigan 37-22 with 9:07 to go. UCF up on top of West Virginia 21-7 early in the 3rd. And Kent State, Toledo are tied at 10, 9:33 to go in the 2nd. Buffalo on top of Massachusetts 3-0 early or late in the 1st. Purdue and Northwestern just kicked off and they are scoreless. Some games coming up this afternoon. Ohio State's going to play at Wisconsin at 2:30. Indiana hosts Michigan State at 2:30. Ole Miss and Georgia at 2:30. Number 5 Ole Miss at number 9 Georgia at 2:30. SMU and Clemson at 2:30. UNLV at Boise State at 2:30. UNLV is undefeated. Boise State does have 2 losses though. Let's see who else we got here. Texas Tech at Arizona State at 3 o'clock. Mississippi State at Florida at 3:15. Texas A&M at Arkansas at 4:30. Texas at Kentucky at 6. Penn State with a new coach at Iowa at 6. Maryland at UCLA at 6. Tennessee, number 11 Tennessee at number 6 Alabama at 6:30. Number 20 USC at number 13 Notre Dame at 6:30. Number 16 Missouri at Auburn at 6:45. Number 23 Utah at number 15 BYU at 7. Number 24 Cincinnati at Oklahoma State at 7. And Florida State at Stanford at 9:30 tonight. All right. The games I'm really keeping an eye on are Georgia Tech and Duke and Vanderbilt and LSU. And the Sooners just kicked off after getting the kicking a field goal. 6:01 to go in the third. South Carolina is going to start from the 25-yard line. And here we go. Sellers in shotgun, man in motion behind him. Sellers back to pass. He's going to go deep. He's got a man, and that's going to be interference. But you know what? I don't mind that. Although he could have intercepted it. If he turns around and looks for it, he could have intercepted it. But they were beat. And in college, that's only a 15-yard penalty. So it's not going to be anywhere near where he would have caught it at, which would have been inside the 30. Yeah, if he turns around, he could probably intercept it. It would have been inside the 25 if it's where probably at the 25. It's like the NFL. But instead, they get it back inside their own territory at the 40. So not a terrible play by the defense. Like I said, the only thing that could have been done different, he turned around, he probably can catch the ball. So hands the ball up, and now they're going to try to throw it back to Sellers. He ends up trying to run it, and nice tackle by Kip Lewis. Oh, he's hurt. That was Sellers' little brother. He wanted to throw back to big brother. Instead, takes off running. I'm not sure if little brother played quarterback in high school or not. A screen and good play by the defense, but he still was able to get a couple yards. It's going to be third down. McKenzie was there, but it was Guillory who got the really hit, but Guillory wasn't able to get him down right where he hit him at, and the runner was able to fall forward for a couple yards. Now it's 3rd and 2. See if the Gamecocks try to run the ball up the middle. That's what they've been trying to do all the time on 3rd down. Play clock running down. Here come the Sooners. Oh, they're going to try and throw it. Sellers under pressure, trying to get away. Throws the ball. Incomplete. As long as there's no flag, it's going to be 4th down. No flags. 4th and 2. I don't even know if there was a player in the area when he was trying to throw the ball to. And South Carolina back to punt again. But hey, you got to watch them fake. I'm telling you, South Carolina, they are special team gurus. Looks like the Sooners are in a yep, there's the fake. Intercepted, though. Sooners were all over it. There we go, baby. They were all over it. I called it. I was about to I was starting to say, the Sooners were in a prevent punt defense. You could tell, like, there were so many people that dropped back in regular defense. And great interception. Yep, they was all over it. Great defense by the Sooners. And now they got a really short field again. Last time they got a field goal out of it. I like a touchdown this time. That's the first turnover by either team in this game, by the way. Both teams have done a really good job of taking care of the ball, and that one was on a fake punt. Mateer is going to keep it, bounces it outside, cuts it back inside, and going to get maybe a yard. That looks like it got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Georgia Tech got another touchdown. They're up 10 now. And Vanderbilt still up by a touchdown. Man in motion. Hands the ball off to Blaylock, who runs up the middle and picks up about 5 yards. 3rd and 5. I'd like to see the Sooners hold on to this ball for the rest of the third quarter. If you can hold on the ball the rest of the third quarter and then get a touchdown early in the fourth, that puts a lot of pressure on these Gamecocks. If you just get a touchdown, I'm okay with that too. But a first down right here is huge. Mateer back in the shotgun, back to pass, throws the ball over to Blaylock, and he's going to be right at the marker to see where they spot it. See if they give him a spot like they did. Oh, there's a flag now. No. I think that's going to be on South Carolina. See, they're discussing it right now. All right, so we had a roughing the passer on South Carolina, and then his helmet did come off, but he can stay in the game because it was due to the hit. But I'm gonna tell you, Mateer, that was not a hit where your helmet should have came off. Mateer, you need to tighten the straps up. That's the second time your helmet's coming off in the game. Nobody grabbed that face mask or grabbed your helmet. He hit you, and should not have come off. Hand the ball off to Blaylock. So we got under 3 minutes to go now. Sooners have it inside the 25-yard line. Again, like I said, I would like to see him run out this whole clock right here and then get a touchdown early in the fourth quarter. They may not be able to run out the whole clock. We'll see. You're coming up on you got 2:10 now. Mateer back to pass. Got a guy open, and there's the touchdown. Santega with a touchdown. Yeah, wasn't able to run it all the way out, but got the touchdown. That's huge still. And the South Carolina fans are not happy. Frank Beamer may be, or not Frank. That's the dad. 24-7 now. 17-point lead for the Sooners. Shane Beamer after today may be on the hot seat. They are not happy in South Carolina right now. A great play. And Mateer has looked really good today. It looked like he finally practiced. Great drive for the Sooners. 2:06 to go in the third. So the last two possessions for the Sooners started off around midfield, and they've got 10 points out of it. Remember, South Carolina had two possessions in the first half where they started around midfield, and they only got 7 points out of it, and they barely got that. It was fourth and goal when they finally scored. So Sooners have been more productive with the short field than South Carolina has. That's for sure. Sellers back to pass and incomplete. Yeah, you're going to see a lot more passing now from South Carolina. They're down 17 with 2 minutes to go in the third. It's going to be pass heavy now for pass heavy or draw heavy or make myself run heavy for Sellers. You know, they're not going to hand the ball off very often to the running backs. Sellers back to pass again, completes it. Oh man! Oh, I think they threw a flag. I think they may be targeting here. We'll see. We will see. Let's take a look at this again. That's well, from that angle, did not look like a target. Definitely did not look like a target. But they're going to review it. They're going to review it. Now, here's the thing. It is a review, okay? So if it's not targeting, then it'll wipe away the penalty. It's going to be third down. That's not targeting. That is not targeting. That is a clean hit. Yeah. Yeah. There's no way that's a target. You can, that's a you can't get a better cleaner hit than that right there. Football play. Did it kind of look ugly? Yeah. It was a hard hit. But it was not a target. Yep. Yep. That's a great football play. So third down. So here we go. 3rd and 4. South Carolina got to get a first down here, or it's going to be another punt situation. Empty backfield now. Sellers rolls out to his left. He completes it, but it's short of the first down. Guillory with a great tackle. 4th down. Minute 25. Clock is still running. They are punting. I'm telling you, I've never seen so many boos from a football team in my life. Them South Carolina fans are very unhappy. Shane Beamer is in trouble for his job. Because if the fans are unhappy, that means the boosters are unhappy. And when the boosters are unhappy, you lose your job, no matter what the president or AD really feel. And now we got to delay a game on South Carolina, make it worse. You got less than a minute to go in the third. The Sooners just fair catch this. Listen, all you want to do is just run the clock and go home. And we talked about earlier about the Sooners schedule. South Carolina don't have an easy schedule either. Let's take a look at their schedule remaining. And it again. So this is not the funny thing, but it's ironic because in the first half, the Sooners had this exact same thing happen to them. A delay game on a punt, and then a false start on a punt, backed them up 10 yards. And here we are for South Carolina, the exact same situation. And by the way, it's for almost the exact same field position too, because it was OU had on 35, got backed up at 25. South Carolina had on the 34, got back up at 24. So, Santega going to return the punt. You're going to get about 8 yards. I know there's a flag. Be interested if it's a face mask or a block in the back or what. But let's take a look at South Carolina's remaining schedule after today. Next week, they host Alabama. Then they go to Ole Miss. Then they go to A&M. There's a penalty on OU for blocking the back. Then, let me see, who is this team right here? Yeah, then they play Coastal Carolina at home, the last, and then they host Clemson. So last week, let's look at their schedule. Last week they played at number 11 LSU and lost by 20-10. Today they're playing number 14 Oklahoma at home and losing 24-7. Next week they play number 6 Alabama at home. Then they'll play number 5 Ole Miss. Then at number 4 A&M, Coastal Carolina, and then in-state rival Texas or Clemson. Shane Beamer could be gone. Shane Beamer might be gone this year. The way they're firing coaches now, every week somebody getting fired. And we're talking about top programs too. Last week it was Penn State's James Franklin. UCLA coach has been fired. Oklahoma State Mike Gundy been fired. Yeah. So we got less than 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Sooners are on top 24-7. It's 2nd and 5. See if they snap the ball here. They don't need to. No, they're not going to. So after 3, the Sooners are on top 24-7. Now, let's take a look at some scores now. Some of these have went final or close to it. Georgia Tech is now on top of Duke, 27-10 with 2 minutes to go in the game. TCU and Baylor are still a delay with TCU up 35-21. Tulane now leads 24-17 with 8 seconds to go in the game. Miami, Ohio leads Eastern Michigan 44-22 with just over a minute to go. UCF is up 28-7 with 4:40 to go in the third. Kent State and Toledo are still tied at 10 with a minute to go in the second, and Toledo's got it 2nd and 9 on the Kent 11. Oh, they just got a touchdown. Massachusetts leads Buffalo 7-3 with 9:44 to go in the second. Northwestern leads Purdue 3-0 with 5:40 to go in the first. And Troy leads Louisiana Monroe 10-0 with 6:01 to go in the first. Finals. Look at these finals. Vanderbilt beats LSU 31-24. Michigan beats Washington 24-7. UConn beat Boston College 38-23. Houston beats Arizona 31-28. And Central Michigan beat Bowling Green 27-6. We'll be back in a little bit with the fourth quarter. All right, we're back. It's 3rd and 4 for the Sooners. Got to get to the 40 for a first down. Bad snap. Mateer keeps it. He's going to bounce it outside. He's going to get the first down. I did not think he was, but a hard run. They spot him right at the first down. They're going to give him a first down. First and 10. Less than 14 to go in the game. Hand the ball off to Robinson. All right, second. Now, the Sooners now are just worried about controlling the clock. They care less if they score. Control the clock, get out of the game with a victory. Move on to next week against Ole Miss. 2nd and 7. Mateer keeps it again. He's going to dive forward for a couple of yards. Again, the main thing is just keep the clock running. Third and 6 for the Sooners. Robinson in the backfield with Mateer. Mateer back to pass. Under pressure, he's going to get sacked. You're going to lose quite a bit of yardage, too, on that. So it's punting for sure. But again, the clock is running, so it's not a horrible thing. You're up 17, okay? I mean, I don't even mind the sack because I'd rather have that than an incomplete pass. Basusi got beat, though. Basusi, the freshman, true freshman, 5-star left tackle, got beat on that one. That's the first sack of the game, though. So Sooners done a good job. And the Sooners themselves have 3 sacks. Now, see if South Carolina come after it. They do. But he gets it away and punts it inside the 20. There is a flag. I don't think it's going to be a 15-yarder. But if it is, that I think that's a run into the kicker. I think that's a running into the kicker. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't think it was a rough. Yeah. And he gets the punt inside the 20-yard line, so it's a pretty good punt. Pretty good punt. Let's see if any more games have went final. Yeah. So Georgia Tech and Duke are not quite final. There's less than 30 seconds to go, but Georgia Tech is up 27-18. And Tulane, well, let's see here. UConn beat Boston College 38-23. Let's see. Tulane beat Army 24-17. Trying to find scores that. Yeah, I did not get the final one yet. I think that's it. Central Florida putting it on West Virginia, 35-7 now. And that looks like that's it. Oh, I didn't look yet. I forgot. Let me look here. Let me look here. I got my post. Man, Sellers should have been sacked twice on that play. Look at what we got. And you're going to get a first down right at it. Sellers runs up for the middle for the first down. Okay, back to the game. Sellers, oh, he's healed. That's got to be R. Mason. It was. He's the only guy I know that beats their defender that bad. Second and 18. Here comes pressure again. Hand the ball off. And that's the running play. David Stone right there on the tackle. R. Mason right there on the tackle. Third down. We're under 10 minutes to go in the game now. All right. Sellers back to pass, getting pressure again. Dumps it off across the middle. And he's going to get a first down and more. They can't get him down. First down for South Carolina. Under 9 minutes to go. Poor tackling there by the Sooners. Spears Jennings missed him. And where was the support to help him when he kind of had him tied up there for a second? They're still in their own territory, though. Incomplete pass. Bowen with the defender. 8:31 to go in the game. Second and 10. SMU and Clemson have kicked off now. See if the Sooners can bring some pressure right here. Man in motion. Ball's knocked down. 3rd and 10. Jacoby Johnson's out there with the defender on that pass. He's not the one who knocked it down, but he was the defender on the receiver. Third and 10. Soon got to get off the field here. Sellers back to pass. They're going to go deep. Incomplete. No flag. See if South Carolina goes for it. They're on their own side of the field still. Offense like it's staying out there. They have been known to go for it, but not usually on this side of the field. Jacoby Johnson was a defender. He turns around. Good job, Jacoby. South Carolina 3 out of 5 on 4th down today. 4th and 10. Got to get to the 49. Got to get to the Sooner 49. Sooners coming after him. Where'd the TV guy go? Gonna run, and he's gonna make it. Man, Poor tackling again by the defense. Poor tackling there by number 11. Sooners coming with pressure again. He's going to throw deep. Wide open. I'm not sure who he was throwing to because he had a guy wide open. Oh, he was sacked. Oh, he didn't throw the ball. He got hit right when he was trying to throw. He ended up holding on to it and falling down with it. 2nd and 18. That's, let's say, Sooners' 5th or 6th sack for the day. Oh, pressure again. Incomplete. Had a screen drawn up, but incomplete. Now it's 3rd and 18. 7:01 to go in the game. Timeout Sooners with 3:18 to go. Let me see if we have a final yet on the Georgia Tech game. Yes, we do. So the Georgia Tech beats Duke 27-18. All right, we'll be right back. All right, while we're still at commercial break, we'll give you some scores. TCU and Baylor are still in, or no, they're back now. They started back up. TCU's up 35-21 with 11:52 to go in the game. Sooners are still on top of South Carolina 24-7 with 6:04 to go in the game. UCF's on top of West Virginia 35-7 with 12:39 to go in the game. Toledo's on top of Kent State 17-10 at halftime. Massachusetts on top of Buffalo now 14-10 with 2:34 to go in the second. Northwestern on top of Purdue 10-0 with 10:59 to go in the second. Troy on top of Louisiana Monroe 10-8 with 13:47 to go in the second. Air Force on top of Wyoming 3-0 with 5:52 to go in the first. Appalachian State on top of Coastal Carolina 7-0 with 8:08 to go in the first. Texas State on top of Marshall 7-6 with 10:07 to go in the first. Temple and Charlotte are scoreless with 9:02 to go in the first. Akron on top of Ball State 8-0 with 6:16 to go in the first. Actually, it looks like Ball State just scored 8-6. Ohio on top of Northern Illinois 7-0 with 10:18 to go in the first. Ohio State and Wisconsin are scoreless with 9:15 to go in the first. Michigan State leading Indiana 3-0 with 8:07 to go in the first. Ole Miss and Georgia are scoreless with 12:38 to go in the first. SMU and Clemson are scoreless with 7:54 to go in the first. Boise State leads UNLV 7-0 with 9 minutes to go in the first. Old Dominion and James Madison are tied at 7 with 11:20 to go in the first. All right, looks like we're coming back on. And it's second down now. Second down now for the Sooners. Sooners have the ball with less than 6 minutes to go in the game. On top, 24-7. The Tier still in the game. Looks like the starting lineup still in the game. They have the ball inside South Carolina territory already. They're just trying to run the clock out here. Rushing yards, the Sooners have 168, while South Carolina doesn't have very many. I didn't see. I think it was like 48 or something like that. Robinson with a pickup of about 3. 6 sacks for the Sooners, 1 for South Carolina. Penalties, though, has been the Sooners have 10 penalties for 98 yards. Probably the worst of their game. Worst of the season, I'm sorry. We're less than 5 minutes to go in the game. Just want to see the Sooners run some clock. Get a first down here and run some clock. Robinson, hand off to Robinson. He's not going to get the first down, not even close. South Carolina called timeout. Yep, they did. All right, 4th and 6. The Sooners offense still on the field. I would not be surprised if Mateer doesn't punt this. Maybe they're trying to draw him off sides. Yep, he's going to punt it. Mateer does punt it, like what I thought. But, oh, it is going to be stopped. What a punt by Mateer. He's going to stop it at the half-yard line. Great job. Hey, boy. Hey. Mr. Do-It-All, John Mateer. Not only can he throw for touchdowns and run for touchdowns, but he can punt it all the way inside the 1-yard line. 4:27 to go in the game. See if the Sooners can get a safety here. Hand the ball up, and he does. This is safety. Safety, baby. Safety. Ball game. It's already ball game. Outside. I'll be right back. All right. 4:22 to go in the game. Sooners are going to get the ball back after a free kick, after the safety. All right. Really good game so far. Onside kick for, well, Sooners going to get the ball at midfield. That was a weird. There's a free kick, so it's live ball. It kicked it up short, but really high. And the Sooners able to get underneath it. Fair catch it. 4:22 to go in the game. I expect the Sooners to still just try and run the clock out here. Not even really trying to score. Yeah, both South Carolina and Alabama have brutal schedules after this. South Carolina definitely can get one more win or against Coastal Carolina. But after that, besides that, it's going to be tough. Both of them have to play Alabama. Both of them have to play Ole Miss. South Carolina also has to play Texas A&M. OU also has to play Tennessee and Missouri and LSU. South Carolina also has to play Clemson. So Sooners play more ranked teams. In fact, everybody from here on out they play right now is ranked. But it's not that way for the South Carolina, as both Coastal Carolina and Clemson are not ranked on their remaining schedule. So 3:40 to go, 2nd and 9. Hands the ball up and going to lose a yard. Not sure. Tatum with his first carry of the season. And he is not looking good when he got up. Third and 10 now. Coming up on 3 minutes to go. Mom let you guys in. Pass is going to complete it by Mateer, but he's going to lose yardage. And now we got another timeout by South Carolina with 2:49 to go. Ott was in the ball game there. 4th and 12. South Carolina probably going to come after him on this one. Sooners got to make sure they get they're punting. Make sure they get the punt off. No, they don't come after him. Get the punt off. Good punt. And he's going to try and return it, though. He's not going to get the good return like he did earlier in the game. Good coverage that time by the Sooners. 2:37 to go in the game. Sooners on top, 26-7. And South Carolina got the ball at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. So we got to switch at quarterback. Not Sellers back there now. The pass is complete. He's tackling. He gets the first down, tackling bounds. Clock is running. They got South Carolina has one timeout, plus they'll get the 2-minute timeout. 2:10 to go. Back to pass. Completes it. He's going to get the first down. He tackled in bounds, but they'll take it down to the 2-minute warning, 2-minute timeout. Yeah, Sooners should come away with a victory today. Let's take a look one more time, see if we got any. All right, let's take a look at. Let's see. All right, so 6:42 to go in the game. TCU still up 35-21. Central Florida UCF's up 38-7 with 9:06 to go. Toledo is up 17-10 with 9:36 to go in the third. UMass up on Buffalo 14-10 with 8 seconds to go in the half. Looks like Toledo's got another touchdown, up 23-10 now. Troy's up 10-8 on Louisiana Monroe. Northwestern's up 13-0 on Purdue. Appalachian State's up 14-3 on Coastal Carolina. Ohio's up 14-0 on Northern Illinois. Old Dominion and James Madison are tied at 7. Temple and Charlotte are tied at 7. No score in SMU Clemson. Indiana now up 7-3 on Michigan State. Texas State and Marshall are tied at 7. Ball State's beating Akron 14-3. Boise State up 7-0 on UNLV. Wyoming up 7-3 on Air Force. Georgia up 3-0 on Ole Miss. Ohio State up 7-0 on Wisconsin. That is where we're at so far. All right, we're back. 2 minutes to go in the game. South Carolina got the ball 1st and 10. And quarterback's under pressure. You're going to get away and get some yardage, but not enough for a first down. Clock is running. Torrey Blaylock, 19 carries for 101 yards and a touchdown. There's a completion. Now this is the second and third string defense in for the Sooners. Minute 32 to go. Move the chain. Clock's running. Again, they only have one timeout remaining. Minute 19 now. 2nd and 10. The Sooners just trying to get out of here with a win. Less points as possible. Sooners showing pressure. Got everybody but 3-4 on. He steps up. He's going to run it. He's not going to get the first down, though. It's going to be 3rd down. The clock is still running. Less than 1 minute to go in the game. 3rd and 2. Sooners showing pressure again, but they drop. He completes it. 1st down. Less than 47 seconds to go. The clock will stop while they move the chains. Clock's running. Here comes the pressure. Intercepted. Jacoby Johnson from Mustang, Oklahoma gets the interception. And that's going to do it. The receiver stopped, but the defender didn't. And that's why it was intercepted. The miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback on that. I'm pretty sure whoever the quarterback is for the Sooners right now, whether it be Mateer or somebody else, they're just going to take a knee and get this over with. 36 seconds to go in the ball game. And it is Mateer and the Sooner starting the offense. But yes, they're just going to take a knee. That is it. They do not need to snap the ball again, and they're not going to. So the Sooners go into Columbia, South Carolina today and get their 6th win of the season. Improved to 6-1. Remaining schedule at home next week against Alabama. I'm sorry. At home next week against Ole Miss. Then they go to Tennessee. Then they get an off week. Then they go to Alabama. Then they finish up the season at home against Missouri and then at LSU. All of those games are winnable games. I think really next week we'll see exactly how good our team is. Okay, I know we lost to Texas, but we didn't. We had 100% Mateer. We didn't have a guy who had practiced for 3 weeks though. Now you got a guy who's practicing. Our running game looked a lot better. Now, was that because South Carolina's run defense wasn't that good? We'll find out. Okay. And it was several people. Matter of fact, let's take a look at. I'm gonna put everybody in on this. Stats for everybody. So, yeah. So Mateer finished, by the way, 18 of 26 for 150 yards and 1 touchdown. Torrey Blaylock carried it 19 times for 101 yards and a touchdown. Xavier Robinson 11 times for 58 yards and a touchdown. John Mateer actually carried it 7 times in the second half for a total of 8 for just 14 yards. They lost some on that sack. And then Tatum carried it once for -1. Okay. Overall, they carried it 40 times for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns, a 4.3 average. That's pretty good. Okay. That's pretty good. And 25 being the longest. So, yeah, we'll see how good the Sooners are next week when they host Ole Miss. A definite team they could win. And again, we'll see about Ole Miss because Ole Miss right now playing Georgia, and a loss today is going to get Ole Miss fired up. A win today, they may be a little relaxed when they come in next week, but we'll see. Anyhow, Sooners look overall. I'm pretty pleased with the victory. How they looked overall, offensively and defensively. Defensively, they only gave up 170 yards through the air and 54 yards on the ground. That's pretty good, really good. So, anyhow, again, great game by the Sooners. They improved to 6-1. And toughest road now. Just keep winning one at a time. And you got all your goals in front of you. SEC championship, playoff, national championship. All 3 of those are still in front. So, anyways, great job today, Sooners. And we will see you next time right here on Ole Man Sports Talk.